This isn't a camera. This isn't a motion sensor. And yet, your home still knows when you move. Not because you installed something new, not because you turned anything on, but because your Wi-Fi never stops watching the space around you. Right now, invisible signals are filling every room in your home. They pass through hallways, bounce off walls, wrap around furniture, and when you move through that space, the signal reacts. You don't see it. You don't feel it. But the network notices immediately. Walk from the couch to the kitchen. Pause near the doorway. Turn around. Each step slightly changes the signal pattern in the air. Modern routers can read those changes. Not just movement, but how you move. Slow pacing, quick steps, sudden stops. Even the difference between someone standing still and someone lying quietly nearby. Here's the unsettling part. This system doesn't need a camera. It doesn't need a microphone. It doesn't need an app. It doesn't even need your permission. The signal itself becomes the sensor. Imagine your home filled with an invisible grid, a soft web of energy stretching from wall to wall. When nothing moves, the grid stays calm, perfectly balanced. But the moment a person enters the space, the grid bends, shifts, breaks its pattern. Those tiny disturbances travel back to the router. And something else is listening. Not a person. Software. It compares what just changed to what usually happens. And from that comparison, it understands movement. Not perfectly, but accurately enough to matter. This is why the technology feels strange. There's no red light, no alert, no sound. Yet the system reacts. Lights turn on. Security modes change. Automation triggers. The house responds, even though nothing visible is watching. Only now does the explanation make sense. Wi-Fi waves don't just travel forward. They spread out. They bounce. They return. Your body reflects those waves differently than walls or furniture. And when AI compares millions of these reflections over time, patterns emerge. Walking, standing, lingering, leaving. Even breathing creates tiny changes. That's why this works without cameras, and why most people never realize it exists. We place routers everywhere. Bedrooms, living rooms, home offices. We think of them as utilities, background objects. But modern networks do more than connect devices. They observe space. And companies rarely explain this clearly, because it's marketed as smart lighting, smart security, smart automation. But smart often hides complexity, and complexity hides power. Today, Wi-Fi-based motion sensing is already used in smart home automation to trigger lights and climate control, security systems to detect movement without visible cameras, elder care to monitor activity without wearables. This isn't experimental. It's active. And in many homes, it's enabled by default. The real issue isn't spying. It isn't hacking. It's awareness. Most people never realize their router can sense motion at all. The good news? You're not powerless. Modern routers and privacy tools now give users control over motion data. You can limit how signals are analyzed. You can stop motion patterns from being stored. You can decide when detection is active and when it isn't. Some systems use signal masking. They add harmless digital noise that makes movement patterns harder to read. Others offer motion control dashboards, letting you turn detection on or off by time, room, or use case. And none of this slows your internet. It simply changes what your network is allowed to notice. Imagine this. During the day, your router helps automate your home. Lights respond naturally. Energy use stays efficient. But at night, motion sensing turns off completely. No tracking, no pattern building, just connectivity. Or another moment, you're working from home near your router. You want fast internet, not activity mapping. A privacy setting limits motion analysis while keeping speed untouched. Same Wi-Fi. Less observation. Small changes. Big control. Your router doesn't need to know where you are unless you allow it. Wi-Fi motion sensing is powerful, invisible, and already here. The real question isn't whether the technology exists. It's whether people should be informed when their homes can sense them. So ask yourself this: if your house can already detect your presence without cameras, how much awareness should come with that power? And who should decide when it's allowed to watch?